And we're back once again, still here in a studio in downtown Calabasas.
What?
Slay had a similar reaction to something of the sort. Yeah, we're back to Impy Rome. This is what's going on right now. Yuudai is Quendorsoff in red,
Hello.
and oh, there he is. And I am lulling in this beautiful pink. And yeah, I'm just gonna unpause.
While you were away, I started the founding of my very first city,
That is
or,
amazing.
or at least the first city that I'm founding, since I did conquer some.
Oh, that's cheating. I don't think
Yeah,
we
I know.
have any cities here.
That's why I felt like I needed to found one, so I'm not cheating.
Hmm. I can see my mic picking up me opening my mouth and not saying anything. I don't like
Oh
it.
dear.
I don't like it. I just declared a war after just finishing 2 wars.
I'm sure your people will love that.
Yeah, but I just noticed this dude was alone. Only had one
Ah,
ally, so I was like, now is the
hmm.
time.
It's free real estate.
It's for real estate, exactly. And I have like 10k manpower, it's good.
Yeah.
Plus, I might be losing some allies soon, so I decided to go into it before that happens. Oh, there we go. I lost an ally. They're still in the war. All is as planned.
I did just notice that I may have lied earlier. I didn't just need the people I'm enveloping to form Belgia.
Oh,
I have this one other ally which holds one territory that I need.
is it Tricasia?
It's Lexovia.
Oh, Lexovia. Oh, that's a very weird thing because the river wouldn't make you think that.
Yeah, but no, I needed one thing across the river.
Also, that river is very funky. Is that how. What is that river? You would know. That's up in your parts of the world.
Um, I am not very familiar with French river names. I guess the Seine is a river they have. Maybe it's that.
Oh, it does go through Paris. Is that the Seine?
I think it is. Yes.
Why
Yeah,
is it
that
so squiggly?
it just be that way.
That's really cool. I need to remember this for world building.
I suppose that's what can happen when you're close to the sea, where the land is a bit more flat. When it's really flat, it's easier to just be like, I think this is the lowest point. No, I think it's over this way. Nah, back over this way.
I see.
That is how rivers do.
Yeah.
They do talk to themselves and think like that.
Yeah. I already had so much stuff when I was making my world because my brother is a geologist. So I had him come to my room at some point and be like, "So what's going on here?" And we went through all the possible tectonic movements and shifts that would have resulted in the vague shape that my world has, and then we planted the mountains based on that. And I was watching some videos about like world building, and it's like, one thing you have to remember is that rivers don't spread apart. Like,
Except when you have a delta.
yeah, but that's not really gonna make new rivers, it's really just by the sea.
Yeah.
And I was like, that surely that seems obvious. And then I was on the world building Reddit, and so many people's maps have rivers that just fork the wrong way
Yeah.
around. And it's
Mhm.
like, what? I do have some ideas that I could make some world building videos. Um, I have
Hmm.
one. The first thing I might do is actually making languages in D&D more engaging, or just languages in your fictional world. Because there's a thing that a lot of people forget, especially because a lot of people world build from, like, they're from the United States, where their entire continent of North America speaks one language.
Yeah.
And D&D also has this, one could argue because of that, or because of just wanting to make the game really simple, is that everybody
Hmm.
speaks common, or most people speak common. And really, most players only encounter language stuff when it's like, oh, you traveled really far away, or it's a puzzle that's in another language. But
Yeah.
if you grew up in Europe, you're like, I travel for 10 minutes and everybody speaks a different language, but I can maybe understand it.
Depending on which border you're crossing.
Yeah, but even then, like, Slovenian is a Slavic language, but I can sort of understand a lot of German because we live next to the German border, and just
Right.
historically we were ruled by German speaking people. And so you have these things. So what I wanted to sort of talk about is three examples. So you have like in Britain, one thing that was really interesting is that for a very long time, the ruling class would have spoken Frankish, or like a French predecessor, like Old French or whatever, Norman, and the people would have spoken Anglo-Saxon, and that's why you have things like the animal that you see on the farm is called a sheep, but its meat that the people in the castles would eat is called mutton, because that's the French word is mouton, and sheep is the Anglo-Saxon. And so this idea that, like, you can have the ruling class speak a completely different language is also what happened here for 1,000 years. Like, that was the other example that I wanted to make, was the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which had so many different things in it. And the people in charge would have spoken German most of the time. And I think that's one interesting thing for world building. And then the other example, if you wanted to have a language that's like common, I think the best historical example is Koine Greek, because Koine means common. So Greek was basically like, oh, this is just common Greek. This is the common version of Greek, and that's what was spoken by everything that dude conquered, that Alexander the Great conquered. Um, but
Even there, what's considered a coinage differs in period of time, depending on who was most influential at the time amongst the Greeks.
Yeah, and like this Koine Greek was spoken for super long by loads of people. Like Cleopatra grew up speaking Koine Greek, and it's a thing that like was really like, oh, this is the common tongue. But again, it would have only been the language of a lot of scholars and the ruling class, and like patricians and their equivalents in the Greek world. But not really like the Egyptian people. They would have spoken the numbers of languages that existed in Egypt.
But
Uh,
even a farmer somewhere in a part of Greece that's where the Koine Greek isn't from is going to speak a different kind of Greek than the Koine Greek.
yeah, and so I wanted to sort of not just talk about that, but also create a little like tool for DMs to be able to use a bit more engaging languages than just saying like, oh, you understand this or you don't understand this. And then the other thing that I wanted to do, which I might do a separate video on or the same, depending on how long it takes, would be uh, like scripts, alphabets, because you could have this thing like if you travel to Yugoslavia, you have the same language, basically the same language,
Mm-hmm.
spoken by different peoples, and different peoples write it with different letters, right? If you travel to like Serbo-Croatian can be written either in the Latin alphabet or in the Cyrillic alphabet, because Serbian is written in the Cyrillic alphabet and Croatian is written in the Latin alphabet. And if you travel to Montenegro, they actually use both in the country. Um, so that's the thing. You
At,
basically, yeah.
at least it's two alphabets. I believe Mongolian can be both in Cyrillic or in, well, characters.
Yeah, or Japanese, which has three different systems of writing, and two overlap 100%, and one is Chinese. but but yeah, I think the so what's interesting there is that you could have like, for example, if you have this like human language group that has like different languages, you could have two languages that are super related that are both like human based, but one is written with an Elvish script because that group of humans was cut off from like the human realms and they grew up around this elven realm, and they would have been completely sort of integrated in elven society. And it was just like, it was like, oh, this is like English but with some French words, and or like English but with some let's say Japanese words and written in Japanese, right? So you'd have this kind of this I think that this adds a lot of depth and it adds a lot of character and history that you don't have to spell out. It's just implied for all the players. And that's one of my favorite things about world building in general in D&D, is that like you don't have to spell out the history. You can just put out some things, and then suddenly you have you have history, you have a living world.
Yeah. Another interesting thing with some historical language things, I think, is where you have different scripts used for different roles. Like the religious script might be different from the everyday scripts.
Oh yeah, and like the ceremonial script, like hieroglyphs,
Yeah.
weren't like the common alphabet. They had a hieratic script, and the hieroglyphs were only used for special occasions and for religious stuff, like you said. I think that that's really cool as well, and that also creates a little bit more room for puzzle stuff, rather than just like, because something that happens a lot in D&D is usually like the DM will say like, "Oh, you found a scroll." I read it. Does any of you speak Abyssal? And everybody's like, "Nope, nope, 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 nope." And then a mage is like, or a mage, a wizard or a sorcerer or whatever, it will be like, "I cast comprehend languages." And there's your puzzle. And I think that there's a lot of missed opportunity there. Even if you don't want to go deep into like language lore, that's why I want to make some tools that just are like, so here's all the groupings of the languages, and you can use like, what I would do is, one thing I would just take all the languages that we know exist in D&D and D and kind of put them together into families that kind of make sense, and the DM could just use that. Or it creates an example of how you can do it. Like in my world, I'm not going to be using common at all. I'm basically removing common from the equation, and I'm instead just like, well, these are like the eastern part of the continent is all populated by humans that have kind of the same origin. So they will have one language family, and that's basically taken place for common for any campaign that starts in there. But let's say I have a whole party that's full of like elves and half elves, and it's happening deep in like this region that's mostly like elves and other creatures that are sort of in line with their culture that were affected by them. Then that language will take the place of common. And if you go somewhere else where people don't understand that language, you don't have to always be like, oh, they say blah 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 blah, and you don't understand it. But instead, it can be an interesting quest to get an NPC, um, or you have to find a translator somewhere that will go with you, and then you can just say like, for as long as this character is with you, they're gonna translate everything that's being said, so you don't have to go through the whole like, you don't understand but then this person tells you this thing. Or if you have one player that understands the language, you can just agree as a party like, yeah, just the DM will just say what was said, and in character what's happening is that the person is translating over. And in that case, you know, you can have something happen where you're like, this person says this, and the player will just be like, I'm not going to translate that. I'm not going to tell them that's what happened. I'm going to tell them this. And when it comes to an NPC, you can just skip that, and people need to either, you know, make sure that they trust the NPC, and the NPC could be someone that's somehow basically betraying them or not working in their best interest. And I just think that there's a lot that's open there. And that's the thing that to me is the most important when you're making changes to a system. Like when you're suggesting like what could be better in Crusader Kings or in Impi Rome or in D&D, it shouldn't just be like I love languages, so there should be more language stuff. The question is always how are you going to add more opportunities for play, more opportunities for interesting things to happen. And that's kind of the philosophy I have for what I would like to do with some D&D stuff. And what I would love to see in Impi Rome, to be honest.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, why I constantly have status quo. I'm besieging this place. It's at minus 35%. And we just constantly have status quo. Fort level 1.
Sometimes it just be that way.
Oh, good. We got a thing. Now minus 28%. It was this entire time while I was talking. I was looking at it like, why is it not going down?
The game told me my troops have no chance of winning this battle, but they seem to be doing just fine.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the prediction is a bit bad. It feels like it really punishes for a bad commander. Like the prediction really
Yeah,
doesn't like bad commanders, but it always ends up being fine.
and in this case for me it was my terrible commander with 2 heavy cavalry and 3 light cavalry versus their mediocre commander with 3 light infantry. No chance of winning according to the game,
Oh, well,
but they still did quite fine.
yeah. I'm being assaulted by a cat who's very upset that I just didn't allow him to jump on the PC.
Mm.
Because there's a reset button on top of my PC.
Yeah, that's not something you randomly want to have pressed.
Why are you a grumpy boy? Come on, you had food, you had company all day. Go into bed. He's like, I don't like the bed when you put me on it. Nope, he jumped down. We are victorious. Where? Okay, we seem to be besieging them quite well. Okay, cat, we're gonna go see what's wrong. Oh, there's no food in your bowl. Right.
Oh dear. Seems my western ally might not be existing for too much longer. They appear to be getting occupied.
Oh? Oh. You seem to be occupying all the people you're enveloping.
Not all of them. One of them is still my ally.
Ha.
But yes, I am trying to work a bit on that.
Oh, hey, this
I
person has different looking armor.
I might just I don't know. I'm thinking I might vassalize them since if I become Belgia, I will annex any subjects I need for it. That might cost a
Oh,
bit less aggressive expansion.
that's very convenient. I was gonna say it takes ages to annex someone. But if you just use the decision, then I guess that's fine. I'm using the mic button on the headset. I hope it doesn't make too much of a noise. And I hope it's not leaking, because sometimes those mute buttons on the mic don't really mute.
Ah, yes, I have noticed that with at least my old microphone. I haven't really tried it on my new one, but it would turn off my voice, but you'd hear a constant static if I used it, so it doesn't really help.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very helpful. But at least it's not one of those inline switches, because those inline switches I always have bad experiences with. I guess it's the same as inline, it's just in the headset. But I like it. It's a little button on the side of my head. It's like I feel like I'm a character in Red Alert. Like, in Command and Conquer games where you have those briefings where there's an actual live action actor.
Ah, that was wonderful.
I love that. I remember that I used to play a lot
Yes.
of those Command and Conquer games always with a headset on because it made me feel so much more immersed. And they'd be like, Commander! And I'm like, that's me! I just recently got Dune 2000. Someone made an HD mod, and I played a couple missions, and I was like, oh boy, this is older than I remember. Like, no build queue. I was just like, whew, that's
No
exhausting.
queue. Yeah, that is exhausting.
Yeah. But I do like the whole building, unit loss. And I remember, I think this was even in Dune 2. You would have like something like enemies incoming from the south. Like, I just thought it was so cool. It was really, they did a really good job immersing the player. And I remember, I watched, there's a video on YouTube. I can't remember what the series is called, but it's a really cool series where they interview developers, mostly of old games, about some things. And for the Command and Conquer thing, they really said, like, they imagined this, there's this kid who's on the computer and maybe has a headset, and they really wanted to make this kid feel like they are there commanding an army. They didn't just want to make a strategy game for strategy game's sake. Take note, modern developers. They really wanted to make the person feel immersed. And I
War
feel like,
Stories by Ars Technica?
yes, exactly that.
Those are nice videos.
They're really, really good. I've watched a whole bunch of them. Oh, hello, cat. You jump on me so violently. It's like you're preparing for war. Was the food okay? Was the food to your liking? You're in the way of the screen. Yes, you are. We've almost captured this place. Boop. No, Defender's dessert. Defender's dessert.
Oh no.
I like dessert. What do Defenders taste like?
Try not to find out.
So my cat's on the desk, which he's not allowed to be on.
Mhm.
And the way I'm trying to teach him this is that if he's ever on the desk, well, we tried many different features, but it just doesn't work. So now what I do is I just pet him incessantly, which he eventually gets tired of. And it's like, this is the desk tax, is if you're on the desk, if you're in front of my face, then I just get to cuddle you as much as possible. And the only way to get rid of me is to go away from the desk. That's just how it is.
Pretty
Oh.
great that that works.
You hate me, boy. You hate me. He's just constantly slightly inching away. You're a good boy. But would you mind being a good boy on the bed instead of on the desk? think he just wants the attention. Oh, what? Where is this? It's in space!
It's in my region of the previous game.
Yeah. This person just made 3 client states. What happened? How did you achieve that?
Just an event that they get if they're AI. At least I think it's just if they're AI. I didn't experience being cliented or getting client states when I played there.
That would have made it spicier. So many failed sieges. I guess it's because our tech is like we don't have all those technologies about sieging better. There we go. This will increase your rank to regional power.
I've already become a major power with my previous war.
You're already a major power. See, we had this problem last
Yeah,
game. You're
yeah,
always one
um,
bigger than me.
yeah. Maybe next time we should just like maybe you should play pre-Indo-Europeans and then just pick like one on the French side of the Pyrenees and one on the Spanish side,
Yeah.
and just ally from the start and go in our own directions.
I have so many forts in my realm now. But I can finally declare a new capital. Whoa, that was a lot of noise. A lot of noise to move your capital.
Ah. Alright, speaking of capital, mine is suffering from some overpopulation. Trying to move some slaves. There we go. Balance has been restored.
Okay, I think it's time to destroy some forts. No, that's good enough. Have I already become a multicultural place? Yes, I have. Oh boy.
Multicultural or multicultural group?
Multicultural gloop.
Ooh.
Multicultural gloop. And multi-religious. I have now, so I have absorbed some Iberic Cantabrians.
Ah.
Oh, that's
Huh.
how that coin fell down on the desk last time, baby boy. Is that coin bothering you? He's just pawing at some coins that I have on this desk.
Hmm.
Okay, now you go on the bed. Come on. Up. Don't be upset with me for putting you on the bed. You sleep there. No, he doesn't want to be on the bed if you put him on there.
Well, I have turned 3 of my former allies into feudatories. I'm sure they'll be happier this way.
Will they?
They won't be at war with me anymore, at least. Won't even have to worry about it. Loyalty to Overlord 0. Aggressive expansion minus 61. Okay. Okay.
Oof. That is quite an oof you've got there. Why is my balance so low? Where are my troops? Why are they all combined? So wait, you said you just made your tribe people have heavy cavalry and what?
Heavy and light cavalry for my tribe people. Just all the horses I can give them.
Hmm. All my tribal things now have 0. Oof. Right. Who do I have a casus belli on? Oh, quite a few people. These people? Those people? Oh! That's you!
What is me?
I
Oh.
sent you a trade offer.
Ah, were you the one asking for fish?
Yep.
Well, you are welcome to have it.
Yay, fish.
So, that's a province that produces 5 fish and nothing else.
That's a really fishy province.
I can get even more fish out of it.
Whoa, your balance is crazy.
It's pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. Mine is, well, let's just say we're still a developing economy.
It has room for improvement. I got a casus belli on my former ally, so that's a thing. The one that wasn't allied with the other 3.
I am facing some conundrums.
Oh?
I don't know who to declare war on. I don't want to expand too far into the Iberian place yet because I don't want to be outnumbered by them.
That's going to cause some rebellion problems.
Yeah, so I think I might try declaring war on this person. He only has 1 ally and is the person that I want to declare war on as well. Some of our treasury will be set aside. We don't have enough treasury to set aside for this endeavor. My goodness.
Well, at least it's quick and easy to get out of debt in this game.
That is true. Ooh, more fish. Who from? Oh. By the time I clicked on it, it was gone.
Well, I should have more fish in a couple of months. the 31st of January to be exact.
What's happening then? Do you have a fish festival scheduled?
I will be able to colonize another fish province in Frisia, or fish territory. No, it's great. There's another fish territory in Frisia that I haven't colonized yet. There's so much fish there.
Should be called Fishia.
I didn't know that we have that much fish in the lowlands. It's just the entire coast is fish, and even some inland stuff is fish.
So fishy over there. Economy. Let's just reduce our fort. Oh, reducing our fort maintenance. That's quite a lot.
We have a lot of
Whoops.
them.
Well, I have a couple.
I see.
I've already deleted a few.
I also see you've got some that are just bordering each other.
Where I do?
Uh-huh. If you look at the fortifications map mode, it's quite lovely to see.
Oh, yeah. Well, thing is, I guess the one in Paesia can go. Yeah, this one can go.
I can understand not wanting to get rid of some of them. As Gigia still... Oh yeah, it already is your capital, I see.
Yeah. They're building a fort in there. So it's gonna be 3 forts adjacent to each other.
The most fortified corner of the world. Probably not, but...
Well, if you
maybe.
go into the fortifications map mode and look at the western coast, or just the bits next to the western coast of where I am.
That's a lot of connected stuff. Greece is also looking fabulous as ever with its fortifications.
Oh yes, Greece is more fortifications than not.
It's just all those one territory countries that just, of course, have a fort in their capital.
Yeah. Okay, let's just declare war. I don't know if it's foolish or not to do that. Perhaps it is foolish.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh wait, centralization is... Has centralization always been up in the bar?
I'm not sure if it has always been, but it definitely has been for the duration of this patch.
Well, I didn't know it.
Alright, fish. I have more fish.
Wait, I have rejected every single bribe, I have rejected everything, and now I just gained corrupt. Why did I bother? Fish!
Enjoy your fish.
Don't know why we need so much fish. We don't actually need so much fish. It just is the only thing I can import.
Oh, it's a bit sad. Guess it'll give you more monthly food, which you have plenty of.
Yeah, why am I doing this risky assault?
It's more income, at least. Having more fish. Or well, more trade in general.
This was very risky behavior. Why are we doing this? Yeah, we are victorious. Risky behavior paid off. But I'm getting Zoelia probably faster than I got it in the game when I was actually adjacent to them.
But you were actually playing as Sovelia.
Yes.
That is just wonderful.
I think the word you're looking for, is sad.
Nah.
Oh no. Lusitania. Oh
I'm
boy.
I'm getting Asturian refugees.
From where?
And if I put them to death, you get a better opinion of me.
Why are you getting Asturian refugees? Who am I as the refugeeing?
Well, whoever you refugees, they're dead now.
Well, thank you, I guess. I guess that's what I wanted.
Amassian opinion. Killed fugitives plus 10 opinion.
Yikes. I don't
it's,
know.
it's a cruel world.
It is. Are we in control of this siege? We are. Good. We're still in control of this siege? Want to be in control of siege. Also want to reduce attrition. Huh. Huh.
Hmm.
I'm just looking at trees in various places. Whether they actually made different trees, and they did.
Oh.
There's different trees in Europe, different ones in like the Middle East, and in Spain and Greece. I don't know if they're bound to anything. Doesn't seem like they're bound to climate. Hmm?
Now we know what happened, why Imperator Rome is missing all the features we find missing in it. They spent all their development time on finding the right spot for each tree.
Ah, that is the secret behind the scenes truth. But yeah, I was just curious because it just looks like Spain is just full of cypress trees, but I guess they're meant to be pine trees.
Hmm.
Let the looting be gentle. Why not?
I feel it might be worth killing them if they're like the wrong culture group, just to speed up converting it to your own culture. But otherwise, I'm gentle with the people.
Hmm. Let's explore Casa's belly options.
Yes. I was planning to attack Lingonia myself, but they have formed a rather significant defensive league.
Lingonia?
Yes. They
Is
hold the place that I want to make my capital.
is that where lingonberries are from?
I wouldn't know.
This poor tribe.
Native to boreal forest and arctic tundra. I don't think that's where they're from. I don't think they're from Lingonia.
Is Lingonia too far south?
Yeah, it's south from me rather than north, so
Oh,
yes, they have a 9 members defensive league, so that's a little bit of a tough nut to crack.
there's this city-state which has no allies and just 8 cohorts. I feel
I
really
see.
bad for them.
You should offer them your protection.
Yes. Oh, just got declared war on, but hopefully this shouldn't take too long. Who's declared war on me, though? Who's declared war on me? Oh, we've been going for 48 minutes. Ah! Wait, I need to find out who declared war. Bunny... Bunny... Ninja. Bunny Ninja.
By themselves?
Oh, Leonia and Paisuria are their allies.
Suppose those will probably join in then, but they are tiny. They are only 2 territories.
Yeah, that is weird.
They saw you distracted by the might of Varinia, and they were like, we're joining in.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't even declared war on Varinia. I was about to press the button when the pop-up came up that I'm at war.
Well, okay then.
I was like, this is fine. Well, this war host actually renamed itself, but this one refuses to. I'm unimpressed.
Hmm.
Oh, Varinia's actually gotten out of its tiny hut and has come out. to threaten me?
Such threats.
Yep. I guess the people who declared war on me are like, well, they've been at war for so long. And, oop, nothing happened. And, you know, they were like, sure, they'll just be exhausted. We can declare war on them.
Maybe. You are... I'm going to say you are low manpower, but... about 1/4 of your max, I suppose.
Holy shit, you have a lot of manpower already.
Mm-hmm.
How you do this? You
But
expanded so quickly.
I'm only like 3.5 times your size at this point.
I guess you also started at like 3 times my size.
Something like that. That aggressive expansion of mine really kills my opinion with everyone. Even my ally dislikes me. My one remaining ally.
What's your aggressive expansion at now?
53.11. Everything is my
Oh,
culture group anyway, so I'm not going to get a rebellion from it.
lucky you. Oh, everything in Europe is your culture group.
Pretty much.
That's very convenient.
Almost all of Gaul, just those few pre-Indo-Europeans, and of course the Greek cities, but yeah.
Oh yeah, those little Greek cities. I didn't know those Greek cities existed, to be honest. Like there was a historical...
I knew about Massalia. I didn't know about the other ones, but...
Oh, wow. Verinia actually managed to... Wait, did Bunny and Asia end up being on their own? They did declare war on me on their own. Meanwhile, Verinia actually managed to occupy something.
Look at them! I guess, I guess other countries were right to think that Verinia could accomplish something.
Well,
Not too
they've
much,
accomplished
but still.
nothing. They still accepted the peace even though they were occupying my stuff and it wasn't at 100. It was enough to completely occupy them. Oh wait, I'm missing a war chief.
Missing out war chief.
I am the war chief.
I don't think you can fill every office yourself. I don't think that's how this game works. Although,
Okay.
speaking of offices, I should put some more loyal people in there to get more political influence.
So, in order to get to unite Asturia, I need I need to fight Zoelia and Bedunienzia, i.e. the two biggest fish aside from me. I
You
guess
are
it's
quite
only
a big
fair.
fish at this point. For your region.
Yeah, for my region.
At this point, you're the largest country in Spain after Carthage, so, you know.
Don't get me started on Carthage. They best keep away.
Well, they did already expand in Spain, so...
Mah! Carthage, stop this.
I don't think Carthage stops. Unless Rome stops them.
Or
Which,
you in your Spanish playthrough.
yeah, but I don't think I'll be of much help against Carthage this time.
This is true. Except maybe as a deterrent ally if we ever get on the same level.
Yes.
But yes, it has been an hour.
Alright.
So I'm gonna cut it here. If anyone is just watching the, I think this is our fourth one, right?
I think so, yes?
So depending on when I decide to put these out, this might be in a month. So, yeah, if anyone watched this, yeah, thanks a lot.
That sounded very aggressive.
I should pause the game. I'm getting events. Yes. Yeah, thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out. I'm sure by now, Yuudai has put out something to do with
Yes.
Impi Rome.
Hopefully, that'll have happened, I suppose, like 3 weeks ago from this video, but...
Well, maybe I'll put them all together, because I don't know if I'm making new foundation videos, and I'll just maybe do like so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I don't think I'll do Saturdays and Sundays.
Alright.
So maybe it'll all be out. We'll see.
Okay.
But we'll
Yeah.
link to your channel in the video. Up in the top right corner, there will be the little thing that slides out. But yeah, thanks for watching and goodbye.